All 100 of Virginia's House of Delegates seats are on the ballot next week, and right now, Democrats hold a narrow majority.
They're raising and spending millions of dollars to try to grow that edge, while Republicans hope they can gain ground. One of the most pivotal races is House District 22 in western Prince William County. Our Northern Virginia Bureau Chief Julie Carey takes a look tonight at issues dominating this contest.
Thanks for coming out, y'all. I'm Delegate Ian Lovejoy. Thanks for exercising your right today to vote early.
First-term Republican incumbent Ian Lovejoy, a former Manassas City Council member and small business owner. He's being challenged by former Democratic delegate Elizabeth Guzman, elected to her first of 3 terms back in 2017. She's since moved, now running in a different district, the 22nd. For voters in western Prince William, data centers are a top issue. Lovejoy says he wants state lawmakers to create guardrails to guide local data center siting decisions.
So I've put in legislation to mandate a buffer between residential properties and light industrial properties of 1,300 feet. That solves the sound issue, that solves buffering issues.
Lovejoy also says data centers, not ratepayers, need to shoulder the cost of adding transmission lines. But Guzman points out her opponent has accepted money from utility companies which help power data centers. She says residents aren't seeing enough benefit from data center revenue.
Data centers need to pay their fair share. As I am knocking on doors, I've heard people, they are coming, they said the revenue is coming, but I don't see that reflected on my tax bill.
The 22nd District also home to thousands of furloughed or fired federal workers worried about paying their bills.
So we have to look at those eligibility requirements for unemployment to make it easier for federal workers to get access to it.
I've worked very, very hard to stymie tax increases. That's the main thing that we can do in the House of Delegates, is to hold back on tax increases, trying to keep more money in people's pockets.
Both candidates have raised more than $1 million. Guzman nearly 1.8. She's used TV ads to paint Lovejoy as, quote, a MAGA Republican.
He's just another MAGA Republican who's enabling everything that Donald Trump is doing in the district.
I know 2 things for certain. The president does not care what I think about anything, and he certainly doesn't care what Elizabeth Guzman says about anything.
Lovejoy's ads focusing attention on a failed 2020 Guzman bill. A social worker, she proposed expanding the definition of child abuse to include inflicting physical or mental injury on a child due to their sexual orientation or gender identity.
It is really sad to see how the Republicans are using the LGBTQ children as scapegoats.
She's trying to tap dance around a terrible bill that her own party made her pull and not reintroduce.
And one of the sharpest differences between the two, if elected, Guzman says she'll vote in favor of the so-called Right to Reproductive Freedom Amendment, a constitutional amendment that will be placed on the ballot next year to preserve current abortion and reproductive rights. Lovejoy says he's a no vote. Reporting from Prince William County, I'm Julie Carey, News 4.